So there's actually only really like one plant in the entirety of Viva Pinata that I would call outright bad, and that's the rose. What is this garbaggio looking freaking plant over here? I do respect that it is kind of original, since according to my knowledge, roses do not actually just like grow. They're on bushes, but this is like a rose plant. That's cool. And you know what? The design is not half bad. But what is this shade of green they used for the stem? Every other plant stem in the game looks completely fine. This one was like, yes, I will use vomit green for some freaking reason. I will say the unfertilized version looks slightly better to the eye, but as a whole, the rose is stupid. It needs to die. I hate it.
Bruh.
The hemlock is a plant that exists. There's nothing really wrong about the hemlock, it's just not a very appealing looking plant, which I guess is the point because, you know, it's a weed, you're not supposed to have it in the garden. But at least all the other weeds have some sort of twisted coolness or edginess factor to them. If Shadow the Hedgehog was a fan of Viva Pinata, he would put them in his garden. I'll take those odds. Meanwhile, the hemlock is a boring pale cluster of posies. Gross! And even though I said I'm not taking their abilities into account, this one would probably get some negative points considering the fact that it's the only weed that actively makes your garden look worse with this amazing filter that it puts over the piñatas.
I'm Mr. White Christmas. I'm Mr. Snow.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, and Freddy Fazbear's for some reason, may I introduce to you the Snowdrop.
The Snowdrop, I don't have anything negative to say about it, but I don't really have anything positive either. It is mid-squared. The Snowdrop has a single unique trait to its name, which is that it's the only flower that can be planted in snow. Admittedly, this does make me put it in my garden a lot because it's my only option. Impressive. Let's see the only flower that can be put in sand. I smell a quality imbalance. Speaking of uniqueness, the Snowdrop isn't. In Viva Pinata, there are quite a few examples of two plants looking very similar to each other, but Snowdrop has to have one of the most egregious cases of this. Here is Snowdrop, here is the Orchid. This is literally Daniel versus the cooler Daniel. But hey, if my points here sound like nitpicks, that's because they are. Again, there really isn't anything wrong with this plant. My thoughts on this plant are just very limited. The VV sunflower's pretty dang cool. Looking so good, it makes me wanna drool. Stands really tall, so it sets up from the bunch. Unless you don't fertilize it, then it looks dumb. It's a good freaking plant. Man, I really love Big Chungus.
The burning! The burning!
What is wrong with you? Why are you blue?
Butter dog, the dog with the butter.
Bird up!
Banana! I got that. Hold your fire! This man isn't black!
His last words, or, word, was water.
These big nuts.
Wait a minute. I'm white!
Hey, Apple! Apple! Hey! Hey, Apple!
Mushroom Kingdom, here we come!
Orange rhyme with banana. Or nana.
I am under the water. Please help me.
This is much worse than I thought. That is a red one.
Purple guy!
Shout out to all the pair.
Dragons have invaded Dave & Buster's.
All the single furries. All the single furries. All the single furries. All the single furries.
I'll be honest, Doodad. I have no idea what you're talking about.
I found some wild glizzies.
When I look at this monkey. Now you will feel
pain!
I'm a little tiger.
No.
I'm a sexy little tiger.
I'm blue, I've been beat, I've been died, I've been You mean the Chaos Emeralds?
It's time for the moment you've been waiting for.